Welcome to History Rewrite, the place where the past comes alive in ways you've never seen before. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story that reshapes how you see history. In today's episode, we'll be diving into a darker, more intense chapter of North America history, one that many textbooks overlook. This is it. The most feared Native American tribes in history you've never heard of. Prepare to be stunned by the raw power, military genuines, and terrifying reputations of three indigenous nations that dominated through fear and left a legacy soaked in both blood and brilliance. Let's look at the Comanche, Lords of the Plains. Just the mention of their names was enough to send a chill down any spine. The Comanche, known by their Utah names as those who always want to fight, from their roots as part of Shosho tribes in Great Basin, they evolved into a force so feared they were called the Spartans of the Plains. When horses arrived from Spanish colonists, the Comanche mastered them like no other. Through shield trade, they acquired horses from the Pueblo and other tribes, exchanging buffalo hides, captives, and goods. It wasn't long before they became unmatched equestrians, known for their agility, daring, and ability to live, hunt, and wage war entirely on horseback. Slow onward on foot, but graceful, expert, and fearless in the saddle, Williams Blackmore, Englishman who lives with them, exposed this. He said from a young age, Comanche children were trained in riding and taming wild horses. They developed brilliant techniques to break and bound with monsters, and by the time they reached adulthood, they were part of a warrior society where power was proven through relentless raids and violent warfare. In battle, Comanche warriors concealed their bodies behind their steeds, firing arrows and bullets over under the necks of galloping horses with astonishing precision. Their raids were so effective that they single-handedly halted Spanish expansion into Texas for nearly half a century. Their terrifying Comanche Moon raid saw hundreds of warriors descend on settlement by night, leaving carnage in their wake, slaughtering men, capturing women, and stealing horses. These raids weren't just military campaigns. They were rituals of dominance. Despite being a relatively small tribe of around 400,000 people, each Comanche could own up to 3 horses, and young warriors earned status only through proven bloodshed and theft. Even Comanche women were fierce, known for inventing brutal torture techniques inflicted on captives. These weren't even a close second, wrote S.C. Gwen in Empire of the Summer Moon, describing their unmatched cruelty and impact on American expansion. Let's look at the Iroquois Confederacy, master of strategy. Next, we move to the northeast, where another power rules, not through chaos, but through calculated dominance. meet the Iroquois Confederacy, also known as the Haudenosaunee, or People of the Long House. This formidable alliance of 6 nations, the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, Seneca, and later the Tuscarora, created one of the most sophisticated political systems in indigenous history. But don't let their diplomacy fool you. They were also ruthless warriors, feared by neighboring tribes and colonies alike. Enemies called them Iroquois, a name meaning rattlesnake, symbolizing their silence and lethal strike. They expand aggressive through the infamous Braver War of the 17th century, annihilating tribes like the Hurons, Erie, and Susquehannock to control 4 trade routes. From a young age, Iroquois boys were trained in combat, joining raids during adolescence and proving their worth by spilling blood. The military structure was brutal, efficient, and so was their justice. The captured enemies were often forced to run the gauntlet, sprinting between 2 rows of warriors who beat them with thorn-covered stick. Those who survived might still face dismemberment, torture, or ritual death. Their unity was their strength. Despite being 6 distinct nations, they coordinated seamlessly in war and diplomacy, most famously aligning with the British in the French and Indian War, controlling land that stretched from Michigan to Tennessee. Their motion or their motto: a single arrow can be broken, but a bundle of arrows is unbreakable. That's their motto. Let's look at the Apache, ghosts of the desert. Last but not the least, we head southwest to confront a tribe so elusive and ferocious that U.S. General called them the tigers of the human race. This is the story of the Apache, stretch warriors of the mountains and deserts, born from the Athabascans, speaking people of the north. The Apache adapted to the arid, rugged lands of Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, surrounded by enemies, including the Spanish, Comanche, and later Americas. They survived through sheer tactical brilliance. Apache warriors became masters of guerrilla warfare. They moved fast, struck suddenly, and vanished into the landscape. Their surprise attack paralyzed enemies who often never saw them coming. They could fire multiple arrows before the first hit the ground. Scale-cleft, barefoot, and aton-mounted cavalry, with stolen horses, acquired rifles, and relentlessly endurance. They outmaneuver nearly every army they encountered. But Apache were also feared for their brutality. Captives could face flying, immolation, or be forced to watch as children were killed before their eyes. Within Apache society, inventing new methods of torture was a mark of honor. Despite their small numbers, they resisted colonial control for centuries. Leaders like Jeromino and Cochise became legends, not just for resistance, but of impossible survival. In conclusion, that were not just warriors, they were tacticians, riders, hunters, and strategists, embodying the spirit of survival warfare in some of the hardships and most contested land in history. So, which tribe shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what surprised you. And if you haven't yet, give us thumb up, subscribe, and stay tuned for more raw and riveting history, only here on History Rewrite. See you until next time. Keep questioning, keep learning. Have a blessed day. Bye for now.